In this video, we're going to take a look at using JOptionPane, and we're going to use the payroll dialog project as an example. So we'll open this up and take a look at the source code. So notice at the top here, we're starting off with import JOptionPane. This line tells the compiler where to find the class JOptionPane. So this class is going to be needed to use the dialog commands, the dialog methods. So first dialog method we're going to be looking at in this project is one that's going to help us get the user's name, and that's called the show input dialog method. So what this does is it will display on the screen a prompt, and in this case it's going to say, what is your name? So the argument for this method is the prompt. And keep in mind that the input dialog method always reads input as a string. Okay, so keep that in mind. And notice how we're using that a few times. So this prompt says, how many hours did you work this week? Here's another prompt. What is your hourly pay rate? And down at the bottom we have our second JOptionPane method, and this one's going to be used to display the results. And notice that it says show message dialog. The first argument is null. We could talk about that later on. But the second argument is what you want to display on the screen. And notice how it's a combination of text, so the word hello, and variables. So this is going to be whatever you want to display on the screen. And the last part, down at the bottom here at the very end, is our exit. And this is needed because JOptionPane does not stop by itself. So you probably could just close the entire program, but we like to throw this in just to make sure that we are exiting the program. Let's scroll back up to the top. And I want you to notice that we are working with a combination of strings, integers, and doubles. So as I mentioned before, when you use the show input dialog method, your input is going to be read as a string. And that's fine if you're asking for a name, but if you're asking for hours or pay rate, okay, it could be a problem, especially if you plan on doing math, which as you can see right there, we are. So how do we fix this? Well, that's what the parse methods are going to be for. So there's two parse methods that we're using here. And the first one is from the class integer, and it's called parseInt. And the input string variable is what we're going to convert to an integer. Now where did that come from? Right here. That's what we asked for. So we're going to immediately change that to an integer. Okay, second place, we're using the double class. So there's my double class. There's my parse double method. And that is going to take my input string. Notice, yes, it is the same variable name. However, the value stored in it changed. So remember, basic fundamentals of variables, whatever is stored there last is what's going to be read. So the value that's stored in input string is now my pay rate. So I pass that to the method, and it converts my pay rate to a double. So with those conversions, I can now calculate the gross pay, and I could accurately display my results. So that's the breakdown of using JOptionPane. Until next time.